Japanese multinational automobile manufacturer Nissan plans to invest 600 million euros in Ampere Renault's electric vehicle and software entity in Europe to end the difference between the automakers. The two companies are to establish more equal cross-shareholdings in this French-Japanese auto alliance. Renault Group and Nissan will retain 15% cross-shareholdings in each other's, and Renault will transfer 28.4% of Nissan shares into a French trust to keep voting rights of each side at 15% at the total. Finally, the Chief Executive Officer of NatWest, Dame Alison Rose, has resigned for admitting to being the source of an inaccurate story about Nigel Farage's bank account. Her 4-year tenure as Chief Executive has ended in ignominy over her admission that she had discussed Mr. Farage's bank details with the BBC journalist. The announcement came just hours after NatWest said it had full confidence in her to continue to lead the bank. The International Monetary Fund has maintained its 3.2% forecast for Nigeria's economic growth in 2023 and 3% for 2024. The Washington-based financial institution made the projections in its latest World Economic Output Report, released on Tuesday. In the report titled Near-Term Resilience Persisting Challenges, it also predicted that sub-Saharan Africa will experience a decrease in growth, projected at 3.5% in 2023, followed by a recovery to 4.1% in 2024. Similarly, it estimated that Nigeria's growth prospects for 2023 and 2024 were anticipated to gradually decline, aligning with the projections made in April, primarily due to security concerns in the oil sector. It also stated that global inflation was projected to decline from 8.7% in 2022 to 6.8% this year, indicating a 0.2 percentage points decline, and 5.2% in 2024. Now, entrepreneurs and professionals from different sectors of the economy gathered at a conference in Lagos to address issues around unemployment and to grow economic development across the board. Abimbola Akintaju filed in this report from our studio.
According to the National Bureau of Statistics of 2022, 53.40% of youths are unemployed. 80 million out of 151 million Nigerian youths are unemployed. To mitigate this trend in the society, not fewer than 5,000 participants, including top business and financial experts, gather at this year's edition of the conference to enlighten youths on how to dominate their sphere of influence and take center stage of global relevance.
I can say for young people is that don't attack anybody, focus on yourself, build capacity, let people talk about you. Those who make news don't watch news. So sometimes people can talk about you, just be focused, don't even reply, just focus, keep building capacity. Only those are the top and top. If you are the top, you will be top. People will definitely talk about you. So focus on being talked about than being the person that you're talking about.
In a time of hunger, we're in a time of so many problems. And so we believe that the raising people who will not only beg for resources or beg for solutions, but they will be in a place where they can be in that office to provide the solution. And I believe that is the strongest machinery that we need right now.
During the conference, participants were sharpened and groomed to have the spirit to succeed amid challenges. Former Minister of Education of Nigeria, Mrs. Obiageli Ezekwesili, also wants the government to provide enabling policy.
If you did reforms well, if you deregulated sectors or liberalize those kinds of sectors well, what will happen is that you will prepare those sectors for market to determine pricing. And over time, what would happen is that people would see that there is value in that approach.
At this retreat, the speakers charged youths to believe in themselves, adding that all they need to succeed are endowed within.